A couple of new additions to the electric vehicle salary sacrifice spreadsheet. Let's go through them now. Welcome back, folks. One of my viewers sent me an email this morning with a couple of really good suggestions to make to the existing electric vehicle salary sacrifice company car allowance type comparison spreadsheet, which I released a few months ago. And I'm going to go through those changes now. I've made a few tweaks and they're really good suggestions. So anybody who's already subscribed to this sheet will get an update within the next day or so. If anybody does want a copy of this spreadsheet, you can send me an email here. And as I always say, for a one-off donation of £10, you'll get as many updates as I care to make. So let's just very quickly go through the spreadsheet. I'll do a little bit of a recap and then I'll go through the changes. So basically, this spreadsheet is designed for you to do a few things, really. It lets you compare what your net pay would be with a car allowance. And a car allowance is usually added onto your salary such that you then pay tax and national insurance on it. So if you were given £500 a month car allowance, actually in your pocket, you're probably ending up with £350 or less, depending on your own tax circumstances. And that means obviously you've got less money to actually pay a car finance product off with. And this spreadsheet lets you compare that situation with, say, leasing a company car, an electric car. It doesn't have to be an electric car, but electric cars, as you've seen from my previous videos, will certainly benefit the most from this kind of scheme. But it will also enable you to compare just a normal petrol or diesel company car as well. And the additions that I've added here are difference in business mileage rates. So the previous spreadsheet was just stuck at 45p and 25p, but you might get a different amount. And also it enables you to put in the exact amount of business miles if you only get paid for business mileage and not your personal mileage. So let's just go through an example. So let's say we're a standard taxpayer. We've got a standard tax code for 2122 of 1257L. We'll ignore pension contributions, although this spreadsheet will enable you to take your pension contributions off as well. So let's say we've got a salary of £35,000 a year and we are given a car allowance of, say, £400 a month. So you have to put the yearly amount in there. So if I just do 400 times 12, so we've got a car allowance of 4,800, which means our total salary for tax and NI purposes is 39,800. I should say that if we added pension contributions onto this, the pension contribution would normally be based on the pre-car allowance value. So the pension on this spreadsheet is based on, in this example, 35,000, but the tax and NI is going to be based on 39,800. So it'll tell us what our net pay is. So in this situation, we'd come out with about 2,560 a month. But then down here, look, we can add on all of our running costs associated with leasing our own car. So this example is we're given a pot of money, but we buy or lease or PCP our own car. So let's say our car finance is £300 a month. Let's say we pay £25 a month insurance. What I've done also on this viewer's suggestion is I've made it clear that these are monthly running costs, so not yearly running costs. That was a little bit unclear before. Road tax, let's say that's, I don't know, about £12.50 a month. Let's say you get 35 mpg and current diesel prices around 132.9, something like that. So price per litre. So our price per gallon is £6.04 now. Okay, so total miles per month. So let's say we travel 1,000 miles a month. So that would, in theory, require 28.57 gallons based on 35 mpg. And based on £6.04 per gallon, it would cost us £172.58 in fuel. And then we can say, do we get a mileage allowance? And you can choose yes or no. So the addition I've made now is we can now enter the total business miles per month. So let's make it easy. Let's say we do half of our miles for the business and half personally. So we can now put 500 miles in there, half of our 1,000 mile per month mileage. And then we can put different rates in. So rather than it being the standard fixed amount, which it was before, we could say, okay, well, my company gives me, let's say, 35p a mile for the first 10,000 miles a year, and then say 20 pence per mile for anything after that. So we would get, that's a real fluke, but actually look, we've pretty much broken even. We're spending 172.58 in total on our mileage, and in this example we get 175 quid back from the company. So when we add everything up and add on our mileage credit, that's going to cost us £335.08 a month. So effectively our net pay after we've taken our car finance and all our associated running costs off, we're going to come out with 2225.43. And then what we can do this side, look, is we can compare it with, say, salary sacrificing a car, or just like I did in a previous video, just having a car, and then we can just enter the benefit in kind tax. So let's say let's base it on salary sacrifice. So let's say we're going to salary sacrifice an EV, and its gross amount, which is taken from is £700 a month, which means our salary for tax and NI and pension drops to 31,400 in this example. And then we'll put a P11D value of the vehicle in. Let's say it's £50,000. And if it's an electric car, as I've said many times before, the benefit in kind rate is just 1% for tax year 21-22. It's going to go up to 2% up until 24-25. So let's put 1% in there. So our benefit in kind is 500 quid a year, which means our new tax code is dropped by that 500 quid. So it tells us, look, we've saved £131 in tax and £84 in NI. So our net pay in this example would be £2,076.18. Okay, but obviously the company is obviously we are paying for the car gross of tax and national insurance. Then we can put our electricity monthly running costs. So let's say it's my Model 3, we get about 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and we're on a Octopus Go Faster. No affiliation with Octopus Go, but if you want a 50 quid credit, use my referral link in the description for this video and many others. But I get it at 5.5p per unit for 5 hours a day. And I'm just going to sneeze. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I was going to hit the pause button then and I couldn't find it quick enough. So excuse me. So own insurance. Yes, we might have insurance on. So let's say it's the same as our petrol car or our diesel car, whatever we were paying before. So £25 a month. So in this example, look, it tells us that we'd be £188 a month worse off if we were to salary sacrifice an electric car. But you've got to remember, in this example, we are getting a car which is £700 a month versus a car which is only costing us £300 a month. So if we were to pay, let's actually make it fair. Let's say we're going to pay finance of £700 a month out of our net pay with the car allowance. You can now see that we're actually £212 a month better off by salary sacrificing for an electric vehicle. So it's quite a useful thing to be able to compare. But what you can also do is you can compare, like I did in the previous video, doesn't have to be an electric vehicle. So it could be a car worth, I don't know, £25,000, but it could have a, actually I need to change that. So I can't do that in this example. Let me just, while we're on, let me just unprotect this sheet. Okay, what I'm going to do is get rid of this. I'll do this in the new release as well. Let me just go to that and go to that. Okay, so benefit in kind rates on petrol and diesel cars are based on their emissions. And that previous video I did, I think it was a 31% benefit in kind, even on a pretty low emission car. It was just a Mondeo that I chose. So let's put 31% in there. So you can see we're paying a huge amount more company car tax. Our tax code is now dropped to 482L. So in this example, look, we would now be only £91 a month better off. But that's not on an electric car. So our running costs would be more like this side, if you see what I mean. So there's various things that you can do with it. But essentially, what I've done is I've upgraded the side here so that you can now choose how many business miles you do a month and what rate you get for the business mileage. Okay, so if anybody wants a copy of this latest edition, do please email me and I will gladly send you a copy out for the one-off donation of £10. I'm just thinking if there's anything else to show you while we're here. Now, yes, okay, now a little bit of an unfair comparison, because what this does is it assumes that you still get your car allowance. Now, if you were having a company car, you probably wouldn't get a car allowance as well. So if we get rid of the car allowance lot and we make our pay merely $35,000 without the $4,800 car allowance, you can now also see that we're now £180 a month worse off in this example by having a company car worth 25 grand because of the really high tax, compared to having a car allowance and leasing a car ourselves. Okay, so various different things you can do. Really quite a useful tool, certainly, as I say, and I know I keep banging on about it, certainly if you're considering salary sacrificing an electric vehicle, or even if you, I mean, even a better situation if the company will get you a company car, a company electric car, because the tax will be so tiny. Okay, I hope that was useful. Please do continue to comment and subscribe. Please give the video a thumbs up if you thought it was useful. I've got the other spreadsheet if anybody wants to send a similar donation, which enables you to compare different PCP deals, voluntary termination points. It's got an amortization table so you can see what your settlement will be at any point in time. And as I said, please do hit that subscribe button if you've not already done so. I'd like to aim for 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month if possible. Probably not going to happen, but every subscription helps, so I'd really appreciate you pressing that subscription button if you haven't already done so, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.